in the history of the United States. And they had no programs to crack down on them in that bill. Let's face it, 2.5 weeks ago, Washington had Wall Street over a barrel. Wall Street wanted $700 billion. They would have agreed to anything. And of course, the Democrats said, no, we don't have time. We will visit it sometime next year. When you don't have any bargaining power next year, when you're swarmed over by the same 3-suit lobbyists that pay for your campaigns. Speculation buys and sales of derivatives, $500 trillion worth this year. That's how fast those sales swirl through the computers. Not a cent in sales tax. Tomorrow, somebody can put in an order for $300 million of Exxon puts or calls, or more exotic derivatives. Not a cent in sales tax. You see the division, the imbalance of power in favor of the few against the many? They could have made Wall Street pay for their own speculation. There used to be a stock transaction tax in our country. It helped fund the Civil War. It helped finance the imperialist Spanish-American War. Franklin Delano Roosevelt had it in his term. And then after World War II, they cut it out. There's never been a bailout like this without thorough public hearings, bringing in the best minds and the representatives of the consumers and taxpayers and workers who are going to pay the ultimate bill. No. They shut out the American people. Bush and Congress and the Democrats shut out the American people, sold out the American people, a blank $700 billion check with a little window dressing to Wall Street without any re-regulation, without any more authority to shareholders who would have shut down those bosses if they controlled the company that they owned, like the mutual funds and the worker pension funds, without any expansion of criminal prosecution of these corporate crooks who jumped ship, tanked their own companies, undermined, unemployed hundreds of thousands of workers, and jumped into a golden lifeboat. I mean, the greed, there's never been more congealed greed associated with concentrated power and speculative outrages in the history of the United States. We don't want to repress the purchase of necessities, but we have a sales tax. But presumably, we do want to repress speculation, and we don't have a sales tax. Now here's what Congress could have done, and I want to point this out because anybody in this country who votes for Obama or McCain or those two parties is throwing his or her vote away, and worse, allowing our government to be turned against us even more on behalf of the corporate paymaster.